Hey, and welcome to another episode of Smoky Ribs. Today I'm going to be showing you another recipe that you can use pulled pork with. I've got some pulled pork in a bag that I had frozen. This is from the video a few weeks ago when I did the pulled pork on the Kamado Joe. I'm going to show you something else you can do with this that sounds like it's going to be really good. I've got a person, Janine, over there on my Facebook page, my Smoky Ribs Facebook page. And we got into a conversation, and she was telling me about Redneck Nachos. Man, I had to hear about that. So she sent me a basic recipe and a message, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take her recipe and I'm going to tweak it a little bit, and really it's not much different from her recipe. As she said, you can put anything you want to in these. So I'm going to go with my own taste, my own flavors on this, and it sounds like it's going to be really good. First thing I did is I took some russet potatoes, and they're not real big. I got the smaller ones, about that big around, and I used a mandolin to where I could slice them to about 1/8 of an inch thick. That's about what you want. And I'm going to show you how to do home potato chips that will not be over brown. That's the biggest problem with home fries, is that they tend to over brown, then they take on that burnt flavor. Well, I'm going to show you a method for that, and one of the first things you're going to do is do what I'm doing right here. I got these soaking in ice cold water, and that's going to remove some of the starch, but we're going to take it a little bit further. So let's go ahead and get started, and I'll show you what we're doing. Alright, one of the biggest reasons these chips usually tend to overburn or get over dark with a burnt taste, which I can't stand, is because of all the starch. Soaking them in water just isn't enough. And I actually read this online. I can't remember the exact website, and it makes a lot of sense. So what you do is you put 2 quarts of water, and you want to put 2 tablespoons of white distilled vinegar. We're going to get this up to a boil. I'm going to drain these chips over here. We're going to get this up to a boil, and then we're going to let them boil for 3 minutes exactly. Going to take them out, let them dry out on some paper towels, and from there we will fry them. Alright, I got this water up to a hard boil. Go ahead and throw all these potatoes in here. Let them cook for 3 minutes exactly. Okay, I drained the potatoes. Now you want to take and lay them on some paper towels just like this, and we're going to let them dry out until we get the oil ready. I'm going to get a skillet here. I'm going to get some oil up to 325 degrees. I'll bring you back when I get that ready. Okay, I'm at 325 degrees exactly. We're going to go ahead and start dropping these potatoes in here. The whole point of this is to get as much water out of these potatoes as you can. Matter of fact, we will get all the water out of these potatoes. When these things stop bubbling, that's what it's going to tell you, is that all the moisture, all the water is completely out of them. Alright, we're getting really close here. A few of these are starting to turn a little bit. Still just a light brown. Still got some bubbles going on. Alright, we're getting real close right now. These bubbles have just receded so much, they're just about stopped. Like I said, the whole point of this is get all the moisture out of these fries where they leave you a real crispy, I say fry, I meant potato chip. And by the way, the vinegar that we had in the boiling water, it will not impart any vinegar flavor into these whatsoever. Alright, I'm getting ready to pull these out just as soon as this slows all the way down. And at that point, I'm going to salt and pepper these and put another batch on. Okay, these are just about ready to take out of here. I'm just about down to no bubbles whatsoever. What I've done is I cut my heat down. I'm doing this on a stove top. It's not thermostatically controlled, so I'm trying to adjust this heat to where it's just right, and I think I'm about there. This is just about went to a crawl. The chips look good. I'm going to leave it set right here. I got about 2 batches left, and I'm going to go ahead and drain these on some paper towels, salt and pepper these, go ahead and get the other 2 batches done, and I'll be back when it's all finished. Alright, I got all the homemade potato chips done. We're going to go ahead and do a few caramelized onions. That's just a little bit of grapeseed oil right there. Alright, I got this oil at about a medium heat. What we're going to do is, like I said, caramelize these. Adds a really nice flavor to lots of things. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of salt. A little bit of black pepper. Alright, I'm just going to cook these down until they have a nice brown caramel color. Have a little bit of sweetness coming out of them. Alright, these onions are looking really good here. Can you believe that's just what's left out of that one onion? But it will be enough. That's going to be fine right there. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put these in a container, set them off to the side. And I'm going to go ahead and get another skillet ready, and we're going to render down some bacon. Okay, I've got 6 strips of bacon in here. I'm going to render this down on a medium-low heat. Just let it slow cook until it's nice and crispy. This is going to be really good in this recipe we're putting together. I'll bring you back at the end of this. What we're going to do is we're going to take this pulled pork and we're going to crisp it up a little bit. I'm crisping this in the same bacon grease I just did the bacon in. I don't know how many of you watched my pulled pork, my Boston butt that I did here about 2 weeks ago on the Kamado. This is the same pork. I've had it in the freezer, and if it wasn't good enough already, what I'm getting ready to do to it is just going to send it through the roof. Alright, I got a good little crisp going on this pulled pork here. Just crisping the little small pieces, little tidbits, little ends. Got it in this bacon grease. Oh man, you ought to smell my kitchen. Alright, we're going to put these caramelized onions in here. Just going to mix that all in. Ooh, man. Unbelievable smell. And by the way, these potato chips I made, you do not have to do that to make this recipe. If you want to make it easy on yourself, just go ahead and get you some thick cut kettle potato chips. I'll tell you something else I think would be really good on it with just French fries. Top all this on top of some fries. Man, that would be killer. I mainly do that, you know, I go above and beyond a lot of times on these videos just showing you what you can do, but if you want this in a hurry or a lot quicker than what I've done, then you know the pulled pork of course is made in advance, thrown in your freezer, and all this other stuff, grating cheese and sour cream, man, that's just stuff, I guarantee you could put this whole thing together in under 20 minutes, you know, if you use the store-bought chips or French fries. Just fry them up, frozen, it don't matter, it's still going to be good. Using the Frog Bone Cajun sauce Bayou Barbecue, sweet with a little Cajun heat. That's right. I am so impressed with this Frog Bone products. It's unbelievable. I've got some already poured into a container here. Just going to add that in. We're going to mix that all in. Oh, you talk about good. If any of you are interested in the Frog Bone products, as always, I'm going to put a link in the description box. And you can just go over there to www.frog-bone.com and order this stuff online. For any of you in the Biloxi, Gulfport, Gulf Coast of Mississippi area, you can also go to Gallimalfrey's by Grace. Okay, I'm going to turn the heat off of this and we're just going to let it hang out. We're getting ready to put some Redneck Nachos together. Alright, I bagged these chips up earlier when I got through with them. We're just going to lay them here on some parchment paper. Just like that. I'm using parchment paper because I'm adding cheese to this and just doing it for cleanliness reasons, you know, to make it easier to clean up this cookie sheet later on. That my wife told me to, so there you go. I was really impressed with the way these chips turned out. Listen to this. Tasty, plenty of crunch. Alright, there we go. Now I'm going to do is take this pork and I'm just going to spread it around on top of these chips. Alright, I love sharp cheddar cheese and I'm going to go ahead and start with that. On my side, I'm doing 2 cheeses here. I'm doing the sharp cheddar and I'm also doing a Colby cheese that my wife grated up earlier over in the food processor. Actually, she grated both of these cheeses up. That is a quick and speedy way to grate cheese. I normally do it by hand, but I tell you the truth, after watching her do that, I think I'm gonna go ahead and use that from now on. Now here's the Colby cheese that my wife grated up. Alright, now for these bacon bits. This is the bacon that I fried earlier. What would a nacho be without jalapenos? Gotta have them. I hope this gives you an idea for some good Super Bowl food. Super Bowl ain't too far off. We're getting ready to go into playoffs. And my team really stunk up the place today, but oh well. I'm still watching. Alright, I've got my oven preheated to 350 degrees. I'm going to place this in the oven until all this heats through and all the cheese is melted and bubbly. Look at that. Man, that looks good. Alright, last but not least, we're going to take sour cream. And we're just going to top the top of it, just like that. Little bit more here. A little green onion spread about. Alright, I had one more idea for my side only, and that is going to be some of the frog bone Cajun pepper sauce. Oh yeah, that's going to top it off. I don't know, I might drizzle just a drop or two on hers. Okay, there we go. Alright, I've got to give this a try here. I want a piece of jalapeno with mine. Holy moly, that is good. Dang. That is really good, people. You talk about a good football, any party food, man. And like I told you earlier, you ain't got to make these chips like that. I was just showing you how to do it. You can make this in under 30 minutes, no problem, if you had the pulled pork already in advance. Alright, I'm going to give a shout out to my good friend Thomas over there at Slippery Chicken. Go check Thomas out. Tell you what, he's got some very entertaining videos, and he is one heck of a cook. He got some outstanding videos already. He's been on the tube for not that long, and he could really use your support, and I encourage you to go over there and check him out. I'll put the link to his channel in the description box. And until next time, smoke your ribs.